It's running, and we just need to turn around and getting a little hot in here. So I got the book, and actually if I turn off the camera and I just turn off this camera and turn the other on. Let's see, there we go. Halleys Bible Handbook. Like, it's not that big. It's a small version. Well, it's okay. It's a handbook edition apparently. Handbook. And it's from, let's see here, 22nd, oh, it's a little hard to see on the camera, 22nd edition, revised, copyright 1959 by Henry H. Haley. And I was looking into, there's a lot of, regards of the content, there's a lot of pages here and there and all that, and I was looking for the specific thing that has been censored from the newer editions. Now, I heard someone said that it was in the, I can't even remember, one of the editions, 24th or something like that, but I talked to the ones that released, and they said I should, if I wanted it, I needed to get an older copy. So I was talking to Brad about it from the US, and he pretty much just looked it up pretty quickly and actually found the book, one for sale. So, well, I got it. So yeah, well, so now I got it. I guess, sometimes you just, yeah. So it's great. He knew how to find things and all that. Where is this is select Bible verses? No, let's see. I need to fix, if I'm going to read it at some point, I need to fix this smart thing or homemade thing here where I can put the camera down and all that, and fix some books so it can stand like this or something like that, and then be able to actually read it as people also can see what is actually written, hopefully. I think the last video I made where I did that, of the first where I did a setup where I put books up here and books up here and this on top, it seemed to be a little too high. Because you need to be able to see what is actually written, right? So, and it was a little hard, I can see. Where is the? Oh, anyway, I should have it. Anyway, the Bible history. I was looking in the content, and I couldn't really find the content of it. But just overlooking the book a little, I actually found it here. Let's see. Nope, no, that's not it. There we go. Church history, and that is the chapter that apparently has been censored from the newer versions. And we have world history is thought of in 3 periods. Church history is thought of in 3 periods. Again, the great divisions of Christendom, the Roman Empire is up here, and it goes on. Constantine talks about Constantine, and it talks about paganizing of the church. It talks about persecutions, the catacombs of Rome, the so-called church fathers. Again, we shouldn't call anyone father, but our Father in heaven, early infidels, apparently. Monasticism, ecumenical councils. Oh, software update is available. Okay, yeah, great. So I have ecumenical councils. I guess that would be, I don't know why the mobile is closing down. You have all these so-called smart features in the phone, which just is so annoying. Nicaea 325, that was when they overruled the true Passover. And we have the Constantinople 381. Ephesus, and I think I have that on the PDF, like over 1,000 pages. It's just monasticism or something like that, the Crusades, and Mohammedanism. They actually used the good old word Mohammedanism. Apparently talks a little about that. More church history. Original mission of the church, original form of church government, the first so-called pope, Peter, early Roman bishops, beginning of Rome's domineering policy, growing influence of Rome, union of church and state. Might be some interesting things, the 5 patriarchs, the division of the Roman Empire, Augustine's city of God, the imperial recognition of the so-called Pope's claim, or the Antichrist's claim, fall of Rome, the first real, so-called Pope, or Antichrist. Well, of course, it in some sense began before that in regards of the little horn. It began to, what shall we say, evolve into what it... and I guess in some sense it's still in its, it's still going on in regards of, I guess, growing in regards of what it's going to become. The Antichrist becomes an earthly king. And we have the papal power greatly promoted by Charlemagne, or the Holy Roman Empire. Oh yeah, that was something in regards of the EU and Charlemagne as well, I think. I saw something about that long ago. Pseudo-Isidorian decretals help papacy. We have the great cleavage of Christendom, the darkest period of the papacy, which apparently it has a little difficult with. Rule of the harlots. Depths of the papal degradation. There we go. Have a little hard time. There we go. The golden age of papal power. Summit of papal power. Papal power maintained by the Inquisition, the so-called Holy Inquisition. Everything is holy if it comes from Rome, right? Well, no, not really. Unholy. Just put the on before it. Anyway, let's see what do we have here. Continued war with the German emperor. Apparently a little hard to actually show it. Beginning of papal decline, French control of the papacy, Babylonian captivity of the papacy, the papal schism, and here we have Renaissance popes, or Renaissance. It's like in regards to the Renaissance, Renaissance something, census popes. Popes in Luther's day. Oh, they have the thing here, Luther's day. Yeah, I was having a little difficulty with the English, how to write something yesterday. If I needed to have put like a thingy, I can't even remember what it's called. And here we go with Enter the Jesuits. Ooh, we have some Jesuits history as well. So-called modern popes, papal infallibility, laws of temporal power, which they pretty much is, regaining, in the visible world in our days. Present day so-called popes, antichrists. Summary of church history. It seems the papacy is an Italian institution. It arose on the ruins of the Roman Empire in the name of Christ, occupying the throne of the Caesars. Yeah, because he thinks he is, and Caesar. If you find the Roman Caesar, you find the Antichrist. The biblical, historical, prophetic Antichrist. We have something about the Albigenses, which I think it was some of those that they destroyed, killed off. And the same thing with the Waldensians, they persecuted them as well. We have John Wycliffe's, That's one of the guys that translated the Bible. I think he translated the Latin into English. John Hus, that's the goose. John Wycliffe is called the Morning Star of the Reformation. Why does it? See, there we go. John Wycliffe is called the Morning Star of the Reformation. John Hus is called the cooked goose because he was cooked in regards of on the fire. Even if he had free free pass or something like that, but he was burned anyway. John Wycliffe, they took up the bones of John Wycliffe and burned them as well, and put them in the brook nearby, which there's a beautiful poem about that. Not sure about the Savonarola, what that is about. Anabaptists, of course, they were Protestants. They are our days Amish, Hutterites, and Mennonites, and there's also still a group called Brethren, apparently. I think it was in Germany. But in any case, they were, from the beginning, they called themselves Brethren, as I understand it. And Anabaptist was like a negative thing against them. We have Erasmus, the beginning of the Reformation. I think wasn't that the guy that was in regards of humanity thing stuff. We have Martin Luther, of course, 1483 to 1546. There might be some very interesting things as well. Indulgences, in regards of Tetzel's sale of indulgences, was the occasion of Luther's break with Rome. And in the beginning, it didn't really, it did not seem like he actually wanted a break with the Roman Church. But as time went on, it became more and more clear that there could be no union with the Antichrist. So we have the 95 Theses of Luther. I read them. That was, he's really getting some hooks to the Antichrist in regards of his false doctrines. Luther's excommunication. I think Andreas Karlstadt was also excommunicated at that point at the same time. But anyway, that is in 1520, the Pope issued a bull excommunicating Luther and declaring that unless he would retract within 60 days, he would receive the penalty due for heresy, which meant death. When Luther received the bull, he burned it publicly, December the 10th, 1520. A new age in history began that day. Nichols. Anyway, I think also Andreas was. But anyway, the Pope's war on the German Protestants. Again, the Protestants was those that protested against the Antichrist and all his false and wicked doctrines, man-made doctrines. We have in Switzerland, in the Netherlands, in Scandinavia, that's where I'm living. Lutheranism was early introduced and was made the state religion in Denmark in 1536, Sweden 1539, Norway 1540. 100 years later, Gustavus Adolphus, 1611 to 32, King of Sweden, rendered signal service in defeating Rome's effort to crush Protestant Germany. We have France. The Pope didn't like, or the Antichrist didn't like, or maybe Satan didn't like losing control of his territories, which, anyway, we have the French Saint Bartholomew's massacre, which is, let's see, that was the Catholics, and I think that was where they celebrated in Rome. They probably celebrated more than once, but something in regards when they killed off a lot of people that they celebrated in Rome. So St. Bartholomew's massacre, Catherine de Medici, mother of the King of mother of the king, an ardent Romanist and willing tool of the Pope, gave the order, and on the night of August 24, 1572, 70,000 Huguenots, including most of their leaders, were massacred. There was great rejoicing in Rome. Oh yeah, okay, so I might have been right on that. The Pope and his college of cardinals went in solemn procession to the church of San Marco and ordered the Te Deum to be sung in thanksgiving. The Pope struck a medal in commemoration of the massacre and sent a cardinal to Paris to bear the king and queen mother, the congregations of the Pope and cardinals. Oh, it's 2 seconds. Maybe if I'm lucky, it's another book. Hello? No. Just commercials. Well, it could have been nice if both books came today. I guess, I have more than enough already. But anyway, send the cardinal, I hate logs, in regards of, because those, anyway, and send a cardinal to Paris to bear the king and queen mother, the congregation of Pope and cardinals. Well, the Antichrist. We have the Huguenots, the French Revolution. Oh, that was something in regards of, I think that was in regards of Jesuits as well being behind it or something like that. Oh, we have in Bohemia by 1600, in a population of 4 million, 80% were Protestants. When the Habsburgs and Jesuits had done their work, 800,000 were left, all Catholics. You see, the woman, the whore, riding the beast, the mother whore, persecuting the saints, being drunken by the blood of the saints. Anyway, Mystery Babylon the Great. In Poland, by the end of the 16th century, it seems as if Romanism was about to entirely swept away, but here too the Jesuits by persecution killed reform. So again, the Jesuits. Jesuits, like, that's a lot of people, 3.2 million people being killed. So we have in Spain, and I think that was something in regards of both Spain and Italy, where the Jesuits also did their work. So they killed off the Reformation or the people protesting. Let's see here. From 1481 to 1808, there were at least 100,000 martyrs and 1,500,000 banished. Okay, that was in Spain. We have in England as well. We have in Scotland as well. And of course, we have John Knox. I think that was the guy in regards of standing, talking with the Queen. Oh yeah, one movement, Mary, Queen of Scots, had married. I think there's a nice story in regards of him standing. There was something about she actually being afraid of him. Uh-oh. There we go. It seems like we're still rolling. So where is my... Wow, my mobile got heated. Should still be sending information. So there is something in regards of the Counter-Reformation. In 50 years, the Reformation had swept Europe, with most of Germany, Switzerland, Netherlands, Scandinavia, England, Scotland, Bohemia, Austria, Hungary, Poland in its grasp. And making headway in France, this was a terrific blow to the Roman Church. which in turn organized the Counter-Reformation, which is still active in our days, and the Protestants are sleeping, they are laying on the floor dying or something like that, because they have no idea what they are running back to the Antichrist. The Counter-Reformation seems to be very successful in regards of the Jesuits, and still ongoing. And by means of the Council of Trent in session 18 years, 1545 to 63, and here we have in regards of Luther releasing his book in regards of the papacy and institution of the devil, being released in 1548, and as I understand it, on the very day they opened up for the Council of Trent. And the Jesuits and the Inquisition, some of the moral abuses of the papacy were abolished, and by the close of the century, Rome was organized for an aggressive onslaught on Protestantism, and under the brilliant and brutal leadership of the Jesuits, regained much of the lost territory, such South Germany, Bohemia, Austria, Hungary, Poland, Belgium, and crushed the Reformation in France. Within 100 years, by 1689, the Counter-Reformation had spent its force. The principal rulers who fought the Pope's wars were Charles V, 1509 to 53 of Spain, against German Protestants, Philip II, 1556 to 98. 1598, of Spain against Holland, England, Ferdinand II, 1690 to 37, of Austria against Bohemians, Catherine de' Medici, mother of 3 kings of France, and so forth, and so forth. In the wars for the extermination of French Huguenots, no, that was pretty much the end. Okay, that was Henry III, 1574 to 89, in the wars for the extermination of the French Huguenots. And what was the issue in regards of these Protestants? Well, they wouldn't accept the Pope as the head of Christianity. We have religious wars, the 30 Years' War, papal persecutions, Protestant persecutions. It just continues. Public education. Ooh, let's see what. One of the conspicuous features of Luther's work was his emphasis on public education. And the same thing we have in, I think, Andreas Karlstadt in regards of his reform. A lot of the things that is pointed to Luther seems actually Andreas, had a hand in it. But he was called a radical and apparently had to go away from Wittenberg and all that. Luther came back, and I had the Danish guy in regards of the translator, and he pointed me to where I could find the 8 sermons when Luther came back. I haven't read them, or what it would be very interesting to read and see what was going on, how Luther tried to turn things sadly in the direction of Catholic doctrines. But we have to be aware that it was in, they were just coming out of the Dark Ages. And let's see here, Rome had dominated the world. Let's see, public education. One of the conspicuous features of Luther's work was his emphasis on public education. Rome had dominated the world for 1,000 years. And yet the great mass of people could neither read nor write. And apparently that seems to still be the same. You educate some few people that then can control the stupid people in some sense. You just, you have some that are really highly educated to control the masses, and then you keep those as stupid as you can. What is it called? As ignorant as you can. So they just follow along, and and yet the great mass of people could neither read nor write. And in Roman Catholic countries, public ignorance, that's, as I understand it, is still the same in regards to what was South South America, something about that the Protestants came in and that in South America and actually put up schools for education and all that. But as there was something about that in South America, they were just the church was just keeping the people stupid. So I haven't been in South America, but wouldn't be a surprise, being Catholic, that area being Catholic and all, very Catholic, I just saw a map in regards of Catholicism, and South America is just total Catholic, And of course that was where a lot of the Nazis fled as well, for example, to Argentina. Some believe that even Hitler fled to Argentina. But in any case, whatever we know that there was people fleeing over there through the Vatican red lines. And of course, then we have paperclip as well in regards of getting scientists and, German brainies into the US as well. And of course, Hitler was a good Catholic. Roman Catholicism. Anyway, but we don't know about these things, right? Because history is rewritten and we are not told the truth. And sources like this one is getting censored and removed. So anyway, and in Roman Catholic countries, public ignorance still seems to flourish, and as compared with the Protestant countries, the following table gives the percentage of illiterates. Here we have Argentina, talking about Argentina, in regards of apparently 54 in 1895. Is that like percentage? 54% of Argentine was apparently illiterate. Australia is 1.5. Austria is 19, Belgium is 13, Brazil is 85. That would also be a Catholic country, right? Bulgaria, not sure, but that's 66. Canada is 6, but that's, they pretty much, mostly Protestants. China, that is 80, but of course that's not really... India, that's 93. Wow, that's a huge... Well, they have their paganism, their sadly there. But of course, these numbers are from, older times, it's like from around 1900, around there. So, it's not in regards of our modern world, but, taking the United States, which was a Protestant country, we have 6%. So that's a lot less than a lot of the other places, but that's from 1920. So you have, so there are some variations in regards to the years here. It goes from 1920 to 1890. It seems to be the oldest, but I guess things was not going that quickly either at that time, right? So, like in our days, things are going really quickly. So let's see here. While the last few years, nearly all countries have adopted compulsory education and illiteracy is disappearing, yet this table shows under which institutions public intelligence has flourished. And he's, you can see the Catholic countries versus and of course, you have the pagan as well. I'm not that much of a history guy and all that, but India, pretty much Hinduism, right, and some Buddhism, and false worship, paganism, pretty clearly paganism, Two civilizations. For 300 years now, there have been in our Western world two very well-defined civilizations. Protestant, standing for the open Bible, popular education, democratic institutions, social reform, liberty of conscience, freedom of speech. Nowadays, it's, you get censored so much in our days. It's very sad. And in the information as well, gatekeepers in regards of information, dominant in Germany, Scandinavia, England, Scotland, United States, and Canada. And I was very interested in regards who fought against each other, you know, in regards to the World War II, for example. Germany, England, you know, and the US was like 3 of the big guys and also 3 of the big Protestant countries. And yet, why would the Protestants be fighting against each other? Well, maybe because Rome had something to do with it. You know, like in our days, you know, having their proxy wars using the U.S. for their, you know, why would any Protestant parent ever send their children into the military to do the will of, you know, we are told not to take up the sword of the hand, but use the sword of the mouth. So see here, Roman Catholic temporizing with these things, but not standing for them. Dominant in Italy, Spain, Mexico, South America. These 2 civilizations speaks for themselves. And I guess one could maybe use in regards to South America, that would be a lot of the countries, I guess. Oh yeah, Mexico, we have 70% in regards of illiterates in the 1900. So yeah. So I guess he's trying to show that the Protestants was, you know, some of the things was in regards of reading. And that was the whole idea by going to school, to be able to read the Bible for yourself. Because then no one could lie against you. Know, when a Romanist came to you and said something, and you knew the Bible, well, you knew he was, you know, when he was speaking lies, you know. So we have in regards to the divisions, national churches, the United States, the future of the Protestant movement, the Sunday school. Well, I think this guy still believes that Sunday is. He seems to be promoting Sunday, sadly. And that's even when he actually talks about the Sabbath, and it seems like he thinks it's Sunday, which is not. The Sabbath and day of rest is Saturday. At least it's much more, you know, in regards to the Roman time thing. To be more correctly, it's from Friday sunset to Saturday sunset. But, you know, mostly Saturday. The Greek or Eastern Orthodox Catholic Church. Here we have chronological view of the Protestant movement in England and the United States. Different names and so forward. We have Wycliffe, the Morning Star of the Reformation. Yeah, translated the Bible into English. Yeah, and paved the way for the Reformation in England. And we have Luther, Calvin, and Knox, apparently, in the 16th century, where the leaders in Protestant Revolution, well, you know, Andreas and the Anabaptist was also a big part, I think, in regards of... Then we have Puritanism, early half of the 7th century, arose in the later part of the reign of Queen Elizabeth. It was produced by a popular interest in the Bible. It was a reform movement within the Church of England, protesting against the lifeless formalism of the times and aiming at generally purity and righteousness of life. Because they were persecuted by ecclesiastical authorities, they separated themselves into independent churches, mostly Baptist, Congregational, and Presbyterian. It was from among these Puritans the New England was colonized, lured to the shores of the New World in search of liberty. Well, I think I think the liberties in the US are taken from you, and I think you can thank Rome for that. I'm pretty sure you actually can thank Rome for that. And the reformers knew that. The Christian Bible-thumping, Christians knew about the whole of Revelation and the Roman beast of Daniel and the Antichrist. So we have Roger Williams, we have John Wesley, we have some more church history in the Mediterranean basin, extended across the Middle Eastern hemisphere between the Indian and Atlantic Ocean, and anyway, it would be interesting to just read it all and put it on the internet again and take it from the start and just go through it. It seems to be like a condensed history of some of the things that was going on. As I understand it, he used years to make it, and then they just, Billy Graham apparently bought the rights to the book and took the chapter out. And of course he seems to have been in the bed with Rome, so it's very sad. So at least I got the version now where there are the information they tried to take out. So again, it would be nice to get the information out on the internet as well. And this is just, I know of 3 nowadays sources that have been tried to be taken away from the public, and this is one of them. And I'm sure there's much more out there, but this is like newer things where people have come out with things and it just got censored, removed. Another thing in regards of the Roman Church and all these wicked doctrines is in regards of Keith Green, the Catholic Chronicles, which was a very popular guy and, made some good music and all that. And, he died in a flying accident. But he made the Catholic Chronicles, which apparently they stopped selling, and, told that you were not allowed to copy and make your own, copies of it, So they stopped selling it, and they did not allow people to copy it. That's not in the spirit of Keith Green, and he would never have allowed that, I think. Knowing the background of him, he would never have allowed that to, he wanted the truth. He was seeking truth, he had issues like anybody else, but he was seeking truth, that was for sure. Brother Keith. And then of course we have Walter Martin, which again, I think he was a wolf in sheep clothing, but in any case, he made this booklet on the Catholic Church as well, on some of the doctrines, and apparently, it didn't exist apparently. Well, it did exist, and then of course trying to get it, it was I couldn't find it, and another Christian had it apparently, and he, Wesley, what's he called? Larry Wesley, I think he's called. He has put it on the internet. Very nice, very nice, and also put it, so it's out there. So it's possible for people to now get that information that Walter Martin wrote actually against the Catholic Church at the beginning of his ministry, as I understand it. But seemingly it turned around on that. So that's a lot of, very weird things going on in regards to Walter Martin. So I don't think he had totally pure intentions. But in any case, that's not to say that the information that he started out writing is not good. You have to serve something truthfully to people to make their interest and make your ministry, so that might have been one of the things, but that's three things in regards of the Catholic Church that just flown out the window apparently, and even Walter Martin, where you see apparently that seems actually to be lying about that he never wrote in this thing, yet he did, and we know he did now. So whosoever says that he didn't write anything is lying. And now we have the evidence and proof, because it's now available on the internet, and Larry Wesley has put all the information available and all that. So it's very nice. But in the beginning I was like, it took me some time to find out that he actually wrote something about the Catholic Church. So but again, in regards of the Jesuits, we also know that the Jesuits are working behind the, what shall we say, they are like a Protestant for a Lutheran as a Lutheran, Anabaptist for an Anabaptist, and whatever they need to be, they are becoming and infiltrating in from the inside. We also have some stories on that. One of the stories was on a school where the students was talking to the, what do I call it, the principal, the guy that runs the place, I think. And they were talking to him that this teacher was teaching, you know, he was like, there was something weird going on. There was like questions hanging in the air and all that. And so anyway, so this guy at this school, you know, there's a letter for this teacher, and he takes the letter, which is illegal, of course, but he opens it up. You know, it's, you know, he knows how to open it, you know, and with some yeah, so you can't really see that it's been opened. I guess they knew those things in the past when we didn't have computers and all that. In any case, he opens the letter and finds out that this is instructions to this guy because he is a Jesuit. So the teacher is getting called in, and he's, you know, the guy is handing him his letter, and he's telling him, you know, you are a Jesuit, are you not? And apparently the guy just turned around and walked out, and they never saw him again. So these Jesuits, you know, and there's huge amount of schools in regards of Loyola schools. We even have one in Denmark, in Copenhagen somewhere. I haven't been there, but we apparently have it. And you know, the Jesuits apparently have a website in Denmark as well, like 8 Jesuits, you know. But there could of course be many more, and having a school as well in Copenhagen, and you know, you never know. And based on Loyola, and Loyola had all these spiritual satanic practices and all that. It's demonic. It's nothing to do with Christianity. It's wolves in sheep clothing, you know, making wolves in sheep clothing. So anyway, that's a very interesting, will be interesting, see if I can get to read it all. Again, it's not that big, so I'm not sure if I can, you know, the idea will be that, you know, putting the camera up here and something like that, and then, oh, well, you can't really see it, right? But anyway, putting it up there, flying over the book, and see if I can read it and actually tape it at the same time, and actually being able to see what is there without needing to do too much. But I guess it's small letters, it is not that big, but it would be nice to read it all. I'm not sure if maybe I could move the mobile or move the book as I read it or something like that. It's not the best thing, I know, but it's what I have. Of course, maybe I could take maybe I could take pictures of the pages and then have, you know, use them on the mobile. That might actually work as well. Actually, might actually work better. Something in regards like the mobile, use it for scanning. If I take the pages and then scan them in, and I might actually be able to then just zoom in and follow along on the, I'm not sure if that is going to be too much hassle. You know, some of the program, I have 2 programs that should be able to do it, but I haven't really used them much. But anyway, it would be nice to get the information out there. There are some, interesting information. Now, of course, there's huge amount of information in regards to the Roman Catholic Church, because it's out there. It's just been hidden away from us. Yeah, it's very sad. Anyway, just a small update. Again, got the book. Very interesting to you know, these 50 pages or around 50 pages. I'm not sure if there's any other places in the book which has anything about the Jesuits. There might be, but a lot of the book seems to be like explanation in regards to the books, the different books in the Bible, you know, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, and so forward. And there's a lot of pages on that, it seems. Well, there is a lot of, you know, things in the book. The Sunday morning service. Well, you know, it's the first day of the week, not the last day. They still seem to have, you know, a lot of the Protestants still have that problem. I think we can sadly thank Luther for that. But again, I guess we can actually, you know, even if Luther didn't push forward in regards to the Sabbath, others could have done that. And Apparently they just accept the Sunday, even if the Catholic Church told the Protestants, you know, Sunday is from the Roman Catholic Church. It's a doctrine, it's a tradition of the Church. So if you are going by sola scriptura, why are you keeping the Roman Sunday, the first day of the week? And that is, of course, their, in some sense, what they call it, mark, or their, you know, show that they have, or they think they have the authority to change the law of God, which of course they don't. So why are the Protestants that protested still after 500 years still keeping Sunday? Just showing authority to Rome. So yeah, we still have a lot of doctrinal problems in regards of, well, also in Denmark in regards to the Lutheran Church, and now it seems like it's we have this ecumenical spirit in the world in our days, and we have a lot of shepherds that don't, you know, or people standing behind the podium that don't believe in the Bible, don't believe in the worldwide flood, believe in evolution, are Freemasons, satanic Freemasons on the sideline, and so forward. You know, not even believing in God as well. You know, we have so many, and teaching, you know, pagan doctrines as well, like reincarnation and talking with, you know, animal spirits or whatever, you know, can't remember what it's called, but it's just insane. I saw something that was from a US preacher, I think. No, I think it was Dave Hunt, who is dead in our day, waiting. But Dave Hunt talked about that the half of Europe believed in reincarnation nowadays. I think it was Dave Hunt. I'm not sure if that is true, but it shouldn't surprise me. But it's just, you know, a reincarnation is a pagan doctrine. It has nothing to do with the Bible. So if we have the Bible and we can read the Bibles, why are people then believing in reincarnation, you know? Why are they mixing paganism with the Bible, you know? Oh, we have something in regards to the Holy Spirit, number 800. Well, I guess he would have believed in the Trinity in regards to the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. And I did something in regards to that, of course, page after page or quote after quote. Select Bible verses in regards of quench not the Spirit, that's Paul. Be filled with the Spirit, that's Paul again. Praying always in the Spirit, that's Paul. There's a lot of Paul. That which is born of the Spirit is Spirit, John 3:6. The Spirit will guide you into all truth, John 16:13. Actually, you know, dot, and then so it takes some of the things out here. As in regards of hope, house of God, humility, honesty. You know, pretty much just got the book in regards of this chapter of, because if the Catholic system don't want that to be read by people, and of course, what was it, the guy that apparently he sent them back to the Catholic churches. If they had come out of the Catholic churches, come to his Billy Graham thing and all that, apparently he sent them just back to the Catholic churches. What are going on? You know, it's just, that's insane, you know. Totally insane. Why would you send them back to this wicked system, you know? I just, you know, that's... So I think he sold out, or I'm not sure if he was truthfully in the beginning and all that. He might have been. It's a little weird, you know. It's weird because, of course, it might have, you know, people might actually have come to Christ by that, but yet it's weird how he's sending Catholics back to the Catholic Church, you know. Why would you ever send them back to a Catholic whorehouse, you know, where they have the false cookie Jesus or the wafer god, false god. Anyway, there we have in regards of Constantine, but that is in church history. His conversion in the course of his wars with competitors to establish himself on the throne on the eve of the Battle of Milvan Bridge just outside Rome, October 27, 312 AD. He saw in the sky just above the setting sun a vision of the cross, and above it the words, "In this sign conquer." He decided to fight under the banner of Christ, and he won the battle, a turning point in the history of Christianity. Well, I don't know. You know, Jesus said we shouldn't take up the sword of the hand. So, but anyway, he goes on. Constantine and Sunday. And also funny thing that he sees the sign just above the sun, right? You know, and we have a lot of information in regards of Constantine continuing to have the sun symbol and all that on his coins and all that. Anyway, Constantine and Sunday, he made the Christian's day of assembly Sunday a rest day. Well, you know, he made it illegal to actually keep the Sabbath. There are two commandments I've seen in regard, you know, to somebody was keeping the Sabbath because a law was made that they were not allowed to keep the Sabbath because, yeah, you shouldn't Judaize, right? You know, oh, give me a break. And the same thing with Easter in regards of Constantine in 325. They went away from the Bible. They established Easter, Roman tradition, and they actually write it in their document instead of the Bible. Yeah, let's not look in the Bible. Let's have this council, and let's not look in the Bible what it says in regards of Passover. Let's just do what Rome do. You know, there are false doctrines, you know, in regards of pagan Easter. It's insane. So we have Sunday, and we have Easter corruptions, and we see history where it just corrupts more and more and more, lead us away from the Bible into the Antichrist doctrines, you know. Anyway, so he forbidding ordinary work, permitting Christian soldiers to attend church service. I'm not sure why a Christian would ever be a soldier, but anyway, we have this story. I can't remember where it is from, but a story from one of the, you know, from the early times, as I understand it. One of the Roman officers, or whatever you want to call it, you know, one of the bigger guys in some sense. And the Romans are standing there, and you know, he's taking his sword and he's throwing it, and it's hitting into the you know, he's throwing it into the earth and say, I'm a Christian and I will fight no more. And he was executed. But anyway, you know, the statement, I am a Christian and I will fight no more. Something like that. I can't remember it word for word, but you know, you get the idea. He became a Christian, and he didn't think if he was a Christian that he should fight any other, you know, that's made in the image of God, right? Why would you kill another person that is, you know, made in the image of God? So, where did it in regards? Okay, permitting Christian soldiers to attend church services. This rest for one day a week meant much for slaves. Well, maybe you should have taken the biblical day, right? Instead of the pagan Sunday. Sunday. The Sunday for the Sol Invictus, you know, the false pagan god. In regards the same in regards of Christ. Mass being in regards of Sol Invictus. You know, the false sun god. You know, and then they have this cookie Jesus thing, you know, that looks like a sun, and put it in a sunburst, you know, which looks like a sunburst, you know. I wonder if it has anything to do with pagan sun worship. Like they have this erect penis, standing in St. Peter's Square, this Egyptian penis, which apparently also seems to go back to sun worship. So, sun worship, sun worship, sun worship. Anyway, we are paganizing of the church. Emperor Constantine, 306 to 337 AD, when he became a Christian, issued an edict granting everybody the right to choose his own religion. Oh, really? So what was going on in regards to the people being persecuted in the 4th century? And again, I'm not sure if that they actually have anything on that. But it would be interesting if you have anything in regards to the 4th century, because I've seen things was really, you know, there was a lot of slaughter going on in the 4th century. But, you know, I haven't really found a, you know, place where I can poke a hole in some sense and get more information yet. But I'm sure the information must be out there, I've read one historical source and another was a Christian source, I think. But sadly I lost it because it was lost on the mobile. And I couldn't find it again, sadly, one of them. The other thing I have on my Facebook, that was a short quote from a historian in regards to the 4th century. Anyway, I'll stop now. But I got the book and I should read it at some point. See if I can see what I can do with it. I don't know. Anyway, have a good day, all of you. May Jehovah bless you, and may the sun be a most precious pearl. And don't let Satan take the pearl from you if you got it. And may the Holy Spirit, the Spirit of truth, be in us all. Amen. There's so much lies, there's so much deception going on in the world. So, it's nice to see people trying to stand for some truth, even if we are, the best that we can do. Anyway, have a good one, all of you. Bye-bye.